Welcome to Carmine, FTL Newsfeed. 13 October, 2142.
An FTL flash poll shows that 22% of NAU citizens agree with the Realist Party's position that virtual reality addiction is a growing social problem. But 58% believe that virtual reality is safe. 10% were plugged into the VR net and couldn't be reached for comment.
Escape, the revolutionary home virtual reality system, is here. Escape's high-resolution head mount, total immersive software, and custom-designed high-performance hardware teleports you right into the game. Move in, through, and around the world you see. You are in VR. Exploding 64 bits of VR power. 16 million excellent colors with 3D texture mapped graphics. Exceptional get-a-grip VR controller. And extraordinary CD quality 3D spatial sound. Insert a cartridge, you're there. Fantasy becomes reality. Virtual reality as you battle to high-tech victory in Hollow Sports Fighter. Master the Mega Maze world of Quicksilver. Race and survive the Cyberdrome Gauntlet in Mind Trips. Search for secret alien treasure in the outer city limits of Intruder. Or sword blast your way to freedom through the time warp arena of Nero Zero. And with spectator mode, everyone's in on the action. Go solo or network with up to 6 players in the ultimate VR web. Escape goes almost anywhere. Escape's passive VR videotapes will let you experience incredible sights and breathtaking thrills as never before. Escape's exceptional expandability and mega line of add-ons will keep you pushed to the technical edge and over. So escape into tomorrow, today. Escape from Citadel Entertainment. See you on the inside.
I'm in!
This is reality.
Hi, Minnie.
This is not. But what about this? Or this? Special effects make the unreal seem real, but on a flat two-dimensional screen, there's a limit to their deceptions. Not so with virtual reality. In its simplest form, virtual reality immerses your sense of sight. For example, with this helmet on, 2 tiny TV monitors feed your eyes computer-generated images, in this case of Death Valley. Now, this helmet is wired to the computer so that when you move your head to the left or to the right, the images also move to the left and right. So to your eyes, you're no longer here, you're actually in there. With a virtual reality or VR helmet, your eyes can wander through a computer-generated battlefield or through the rooms of a house designed but not yet built. And ultrasound images piped into this doctor's helmet makes him believe he's got X-ray vision, exploring the womb of a pregnant woman with his eyes.
By using virtual reality and you feel as if you're there, you have all of the natural skills that a person brings to bear on that environment. So you feel as if you can naturally interact with that environment, and so you can explore it and understand it more easily.
Michael McGreevy and his colleagues are the ultimate armchair explorers. With VR, they can walk through the hills and valleys of other planets without ever leaving their lab at NASA's Ames Research Center in Northern California.
With virtual reality, many more people can explore in a much more rich way. So now we can have school children, planetary geologists of all ages, from graduate school to perhaps a geologist who's too old to physically accompany the astronauts.
VR helmets are bulky and detract from the experience. So companies are developing VR glasses, and ultimately, VR images will be beamed directly into the eyes by tiny projectors.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, solid rocket ignition, and liftoff.
In the real world, not just sights, but sounds are important. That's why Elizabeth Wenzel at NASA's Ames Research Center is perfecting a VR headset that can play tricks on our sense of hearing. It's coming to me from the top, but when I point it down, it does sound like the sound is coming from down there. When it comes to sounds, Jaron Lanier is a virtuoso. He can play dozens of real instruments, but also dozens of virtual instruments, like the rhythm gimbal or the cyber xylo. Not bad for a self-taught high school dropout who 9 years ago founded one of the first virtual reality companies in the world. Like others, Lanier is pursuing the holy grail of virtual reality, pursuing ways of immersing people's senses beyond just sight and sound.
What we've discovered is that creating a feeling of reality is not just creating sensation coming in, but it's the interactivity. It's when you can reach out and change the world. You can pick up an apple on the table and toss it. That's when it becomes real.
For the sense of touch, scientists have developed various VR gloves. Sensors keep track of your real movements, then command the computer to duplicate them inside the virtual world. At California's Loma Linda University Medical Center, virtual reality gloves are giving paralyzed patients a helping hand.
Even though they don't have the actual strength to pick up a real object, they can pick up a virtual object, and they can learn now fine motor tasks and coordination skills before they actually have the strength to do it in real life with real objects.
At the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, scientists using this VR hand can actually feel the pushes and pulls of the imaginary molecules they move around. By developing a feel for how atoms attract and repel, scientists hope to assemble medicines never before imagined, building them from scratch, one atom at a time. In the future, people will wear not just helmets and gloves, but entire bodysuits called exoskeletons, the better to immerse their senses in virtual reality.
I can see a time in the foreseeable future when the technology will allow us to smell and to taste things also.
Harry, you might feel a little nauseous at first.
Right.
And what about this evening's Wild Palms?
Virtual reality in 2007 is not going to look like it looks in Wild Palms. In fact, it never will, because virtual reality is always going to look a little different than reality. It just has to.
Why?
Because virtual reality has images that come through a computer on their way to you. They have to come through the computer because that's what makes them interactive. But when they go through the computer, they become a little computery. They become slightly cartoonish. And in Wild Palms, they use live actors. And we're not going to get that good by 2007.
Virtual reality, however, has left the lab and is coming to our neighborhoods. Right now, for example, virtual reality theaters are being planned all over the world. And this fall, Sega plans to market the first affordable VR helmet for home use, a device that can enhance and distort our sense of reality, all for the cost of about $200.
You're watching Sleepcore. Pleasant dreams.
In reality, a Jolly Rancher candy is 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch square. But the virtual reality of its taste is immeasurable. Jolly Rancher candy, the great taste of fruit, squared.
VREX welcomes you to the world of stereoscopic 3D. Congratulations on your purchase of the VR Surfer, VREX's revolutionary new way to see stereoscopic 3D on your TV and computer. With sophisticated microprocessor electronics, unique low-power circuits which give you 1,000 hours of battery life, and an innovative breakthrough called Smart Sync technology that lets you use the same infrared communication with your TV and PC, you now have the latest and most thrilling way to see stereoscopic 3D. This video cassette contains the following information: how to connect the VR Surfer to your TV and VCR, stereoscopic video demonstration and sampler, how to install the VR Surfer on your computer, create your own stereoscopic presentations, other VREX stereoscopic products. Please watch this portion of the videotape first, where you will see how to set up the VR Surfer with your TV and VCR. Then you can stop the tape and refer to the enclosed installation guide to connect the VR Surfer to your VCR. Remove everything from the box and place it on the table grouped as we will show you. In addition to the installation guide, you should have CD-ROM software, which includes instructions on how to install configurations and all the 3D utilities on your computer and some awesome 3D games. A videotape, which includes setup instructions, 3D animations, and 3D documentaries. VR Surfer 3D eyewear. Transmitter, which uses patented technology to communicate wirelessly to the eyewear. Power adapter for transmitter. VR Surfer TV cable with Y-splitter. VR Surfer computer cable. Notice that for your convenience and ease of connection, the cables have been color-coded. Since you'll be setting up the VR Surfer with your TV first, set aside the VR Surfer computer cable and the CD-ROM software. You'll use them to set up the computer later. Here's the VR Surfer setup to display 3D on your TV. As you can see, there are only two simple connections. One to power the transmitter, and the other to bring video signals from your VCR to the transmitter. First, place the transmitter on top of your TV as shown, with the lip securing it on the edge. Plug the power adapter into an outlet and the power cable into the smaller socket at the rear of the transmitter. Locate the video out jack on the back of your VCR. VCRs are different, and there may be many cables attached. Simply find the one jack labeled Video Out. It's usually yellow. Plug the Y-splitter end of the VR Surfer TV cable labeled to VCR Video Out and color-coded yellow into Video Out on the back of your VCR. Should Video Out already have a cable plugged into it, unplug that cable and plug in the Y-splitter side of the VR Surfer TV cable in its place. Plug the cable you removed back into the other open end of the Y-splitter. Take the other end of the VR Surfer TV cable, which is labeled to transmitter, color-coded gray, and plug the 4-pin plug into the larger socket at the rear of the transmitter. The pins should line up carefully with the socket so that they don't get bent. Use the red dots on both the cable and the transmitter to help align them. A red power light on the left side of the transmitter lens comes on each time it's plugged in, and the power light will turn green when the SmartSync circuit detects a video signal. Pressing the left front side of the cover lens turns the transmitter off and on. Pressing the right side of the lens switches between reverse stereo, indicated by a yellow light, and stereo, which is indicated when the light is off. For normal operation with all VREX video, the yellow light should be off. Now you're ready to surf the third dimension with some exciting 3D stereoscopic video. Turn on your TV and VCR. Place the VREX 3D video cassette into your VCR and you'll see the green light, letting you know that the transmitter has detected and is sending the 3D signal. The infrared signal is sent from the transmitter to the eyewear. So make sure the transmitter is on top of the TV, directly facing you, so the eyewear will receive the signal. Turn on the VR Surfer eyewear by pressing the white button on the inner left side. The lenses will be flashing to indicate they are on. Now you are ready to watch 3D stereoscopic video. Turn off the room lights to minimize interference and flicker. Sit back, put on the VR Surfer, start playing the video cassette in your VCR, and enjoy. You'll see some exciting 3D video which uses the VR Surfer video display mode. You'll find that when you install the VR Surfer on your computer, you will experience improved resolution and picture stability in the VR Surfer's basic display mode. The flicker will be eliminated when you choose the VR Surfer Advanced mode on your computer. Only the VR Surfer offers all of these display modes for any 3D application on both your TV and computer. At the conclusion of the 3D video presentation, we'll show you how to connect and install the VR Surfer on your computer. Stop this tape now and follow the instructions in the TV and VCR section of the installation guide.
You're watching Sleepcore, media for insomnia.
The Virtual Environment Display System is a multisensory interactive display environment in which a user can virtually explore a 360-degree synthesized or remotely sensed environment and can viscerally interact with its components. The objective of this research is to develop a multi-purpose operator interface environment with initial applications in telerobotics, data management, and human factors research. The foundation of the system is a head-mounted display unit that consists of medium-resolution monochromatic liquid crystal display screens. The LCD technology is used to meet design constraints on size, weight, power, safety, and cost, and also to provide a see-through capability. The display screens are presented to each eye of the user through wide-angle optics with an effective field of view for each eye of 120 degrees horizontal and vertical. Imagery displayed on the screens is pre-distorted to match the field of view of the viewing optics. The resulting stereoscopic image closely matches the human operator's binocular and peripheral vision capabilities and strongly contributes to sense of presence in the remote or synthesized environment displayed. Head motion of the user is tracked by a sensor mounted on the helmet, and the derived position and orientation data is used to update the images in sync with the user's activities. As a result, the displayed imagery appears to completely surround the user in 3-space. In addition to stereoscopic depth cues, the system provides full motion parallax and motion perspective cues that allow the operator to explore virtual objects in real time and from multiple viewpoints. The technology used to track the user's head position and orientation is also used to position a 3D cursor in the virtual environment. The system also includes lightweight glove-like devices that transmit data records of arm, hand, and finger position and shape to a host computer. In coordination with speech recognition technology, this information is used to interact with virtual objects in the synthesized environment. End applications of this technology include control of remotely operated robotic devices and vehicles that require a sufficient quantity and quality of sensory input and feedback to approximate actual presence at the task site. A workstation-mounted viewer has also been developed for application in information management tasks and human factors research. This configuration can provide a movable window into a three-dimensional data space surrounding the viewer. In this application, virtual control panels and reconfigurable workstations can be rapidly prototyped or adapted for different users. Further research will use the virtual environment display system to develop portable information environments and virtual workstations.
バーチャルボーイ。テレビゲームでは味わえない立体感あふれるソフトが次々登場。マリオズテニス、ギャラクティックピンボール、テレロボクサーなどが同時発売。バーチャルボーイ、販売店でぜひお試しください。
The Mandela is a unique technology that allows people to enter and control virtual worlds without having to physically touch anything.
Audiences are looking for more than just passive entertainment. Interactive experiences are the only way to go.
These waves roll around us now. Radio waves, X-ray, sonic, sonic, sonic. These waves roll around us now.
Mandela technology is completely customizable. We can produce worlds for any situation or environment.
Whatever you can imagine, we can let you experience. There are no limits.
See for the first time thrilling pictures of the world of tomorrow.
These waves roll around us now. These waves roll around us now. Radio waves, television channels, X-ray, sonic, sonic, sonic. These waves roll around us now. These waves roll around us. Radio waves, television channels, X-ray, sonic, sonic.
You're watching Sleepcore. Sleep tight.
Fly over Mars. Take a trek through a prehistoric jungle. Tour a house that has not yet been built. It's called virtual reality, and as Jay Shadler found out, all it takes is a special helmet and a glove, and you're off.
You're gone, John. Your history.
It's a computer-generated world where you see and move and feel. Will real life ever be the same?
From ABC News, with anchors Diane Sawyer in New York, Sam Donaldson in Washington, Chief Correspondent Chris Wallace, Judd Rose, Jay Shadler, and Sylvia Chase. This is Prime Time.
It was more than 100 years ago that Lewis Carroll wrote about Alice's trip through the looking glass. Now, that fiction has become a reality, or you might say a virtual reality, because that's the name of a new computer technology that many believe will revolutionize the way we live. As Jay Shadler explains, virtual reality lets you travel to places you've never been and see things you've never seen and do things you've never done without ever leaving the room.
If dreams could be sold, what would you buy? The poet's question may soon have a practical answer.
The goal of virtual reality is simple. It's total submersion, complete detachment from reality.
The doors are opening on a world where the line between reality and illusion has dissolved.
I want to fly over Mars. I want to experience everything the roving exploration machines experience. I want to be there. I want to explore the planets myself.
Advances in computer graphics over the past 10 years are making it possible to create artificial three-dimensional worlds, complete and convincing, though they only exist in the mind of the viewer and the heart of the computer. Known as virtual reality, or VR, this new technology uses pictures and sounds to wrap around your senses. Imagine a place and you'll be able to step into it. Conjure up a dream and you'll be able to fly through it.
It's unreal. It's different, and it's so natural that when you experience it, it's something that people come out of the system and say, wow, that's unreal.
Jonathan Waldron is a 31-year-old computer scientist in England. As a college student, he designed computer graphics. Now, he's launched one of the first companies to mass-produce virtual reality systems.
Okay, so here we are going into virtual space, and here I want to show you a little application where we've got a car engine.
As with most VR systems, Waldron's uses stereoscopic images projected onto tiny screens inside the viewer's helmet. A powerful computer then generates the graphics and sounds needed to convince the viewer he's in another world. The illusion is completed when motion sensors in Waldron's glove and helmet allow him to begin interacting with whatever he sees.
What I can do is, as you can see, freely move the articles all around anywhere I like in space. Now, on a conventional computer, this would take an awful long time. Here in the virtual world, you just pick them up and move them around.
The technology that created this hands-on control of an imaginary world is already being used to recreate distant worlds.
There is a cliff along the horizon here. That's one cliff of Valles Marineris. There's the canyon running in this direction east.
Michael McGreevy is a principal engineer at NASA Ames Research Center in California. Using virtual reality techniques, two-dimensional electronic pictures sent back from the Viking orbiters have been converted into a three-dimensional model of the planet Mars.
So I would want to walk right around between these boulders.
NASA geologists and armchair astronauts are literally exploring the universe without ever leaving home.
You can extend your presence across the information domain. You can be any size, any place, at any time.
There are, of course, more down-to-earth applications of virtual reality. Detailed models of city landscapes are giving urban planners a chance to redesign Main Street without ever lifting a stone. And architects can show you around your new home even before the first brick is laid.
The hardest part of designing anything, including a building, is deciding what it is you want to design exactly.
Professor Frederick Brooks is one of the pioneers in virtual reality. His computer science center at the University of North Carolina was partially designed with VR technology. Instead of helmets and sensory gloves, a treadmill and handlebars steer the computer.
This kind of technology lets not only the architect, but more important, the client, walk together through the proposed new building and suddenly say, oh, this kitchen works fine for cooking, but it doesn't work for parties.
Seem far-fetched? Try far-flung. In Japan, virtual reality is already a consumer's choice. In this Tokyo showroom, a housewife thinking about redesigning her kitchen need only slip into VR gloves and goggles. But one of the most promising applications of virtual reality is in medicine. This cancer patient has a tumor. It has to be located and then bombarded with radiation beams. Current techniques for positioning those beams are painstakingly slow and potentially dangerous.
The whole technique of radiation therapy requires bringing very strong X-ray beams to bear on the tumor. The task is, how do you put the beams through so that they hit the tumor and miss other sensitive parts of the anatomy, such as the spinal cord or the eyes?
So Brooks and his colleagues have begun testing a VR system that takes traditional CAT scan images and turns them into a three-dimensional model of the patient's body. Doctors will be able to plan their method of attacking the tumor on this virtual patient, even before the real patient enters the hospital.
So for all intents and purposes, the physician could walk around this virtual body and kind of reach up into space and align these radiation beams to zap the tumor.
Yes, and he sees the tumor, and he sees the beams in their standard position, and he reaches out and takes one and aims it until it goes through the tumor. And he can look along it and see what it's hitting and what it's missing.
Clearly, virtual reality now straddles that foggy boundary between fantasy and fact. Just 9 years ago, a science fiction movie called Tron showed what it might be like not just to play a video game, but to become part of it. Well, Hollywood's dream is John Waldron's nightmare. At least that's what he calls this virtual world made for two. A video game where the players are on the inside looking out.
Now the visor here.
I've got a joystick. I've got a helmet.
That's right. And you just put the helmet on like that. Right. And of course you see that you have a gun in your hand, and to fire the gun, you simply press the trigger. And I'll get in and join you.
Okay. Come into my world, John.
Linked by a computer that tracks our individual motions, Waldron and I are now both inside the same electronic world.
There you are.
Hi.
Hello there.
The game board consists of several checkerboard platforms floating in space. The goal, to chase and shoot your opponent.
I've got the gun in my hand here. I hate to do this to you right now, but I missed.
It lobs down. We've made gravity twice what it should be.
You're gone, John. You're history.
As the game proceeds, two prehistoric birds slip into view. If one picks you up by the scruff of your neck, the sense of flying can be all too realistic.
I'm a little worried about that flying pterodactyl at this point. Oh, here comes the bird. Where's that bird?
He's got you. He's got you again.
Ah, he got me from behind. Oh, my God. I think I have to take this helmet off. I'm physically feeling the space here for a second. Oh, my God.
While I was playing the game, it seems virtual reality was playing a trick on my mind. The pictures and sounds around me were all that was necessary to convince me I was walking, flying, and falling.
The visual display at the moment is crude. There are these crude cartoon-like characters. That's not the issue. The fact of the matter is, in virtual reality, there is no limits to what we can do. We can be anywhere, anytime, any place. And it's really, that's the issue. It's total escapism.
Quite a game, or is it? Virtual reality had its roots in flight simulators, and today the military is a major user of the technology. American pilots planned their bombing runs on Iraq across a virtual sky, and tank commanders practiced on a virtual battlefield.
We are now reaching the point where the simulations are so realistic that the line between playing a game or simulation and actually blowing people up is becoming blurred.
Howard Rheingold has just published the first book on virtual reality. And like all technology, this one, he says, comes complete with a double-edged sword.
There's no way of a soldier in a simulator knowing whether their commanding officer has thrown a switch somewhere and instead of playing a game, they're bombing real people.
For now, any flickering moral doubts about this technology remain hidden by its potential power and promise. Today, VR is still in its infancy, but as computers grow more powerful, the graphics more detailed, and the sensations more human, virtual reality will force us to ask, what is real? It will be up to our children to find the answer.
What kind of reality are our grandchildren going to accept? Is the natural world with real trees and real rivers going to be there? Or are we going to live in 800-story high-rises all plugged into our virtual realities in which we walk through artificial forests? This might be a turning point for the human race. We might be going inward towards an artificial experience.